Wait a second, how did that shadow guy survive getting shot? I thought he was fucking dead. Are the characters in the series just invincible? It wouldn't surprise me if they were. Considering how violent some of these episodes get, I'm actually amazed that not a single character has died yet. Conclusion: everybody is invincible. So anyway, in episode 21 of Asterisk War, we finally see Ayato use his super sword against the souped up robot. Even though Ayato probably should have just used his super sword right from the get-go, and now we get the next and most epic final round of the final battle of the Phoenix Festa. Now, there was one point in the battle where the robot seemed to absorb Ayato's and Huli's attack, then turn that attack into a rather devastating explosion which demolished most of the arena. How the heck did Ayato and Huli survive that? Surely they must have been burned to a crisp, as they clearly did not dodge that explosion. Man, these characters really are invincible. Then afterwards, Huli somehow manages to infuse her firepower into Ayato's sword. Ayato's sword is now ultra badass, and he chops that robot's fucking badge in half. Yay! Ayato won! Nobody saw that one coming. And I should say at this point that the robot is very well voice acted. He comes across as competitive but also honourable at the same time, which I think is a pretty good mix for that character. Of course, everybody congratulates Ayato for his victory. Flora gives us more of an annoying screeching voice as she cries in Ulysses' arms for more or less understandable reasons, but the one part of this episode that didn't make much sense to me was when the female robot challenged Saya to another duel for some random reasons. It was so out of the blue and nothing really built up to that scene. Saya was defeated. The end, right? Anyway, Ayato's friend, who is obviously a bad guy, meets up with the shadow guy who somehow came back from the dead, and it seems that Ayato's friend is one super powerful fighter. So will there be a big final battle between Ayato's friend and Ayato at the end of this series? I can see that this episode is setting up the final few battles. Something has to happen in the final few episodes of this series. So yeah, even though this episode showed a major conclusion to the Phoenix Festa, I can't help but feel that this episode was mostly filler. Most of the heavy action of the battle happened in the previous episode, and most of this episode was the aftermath of the battle and future battles being set up, albeit some of those setups were a little random. We still have no idea as to why Flora was kidnapped and why the shadow guy did it, unless all that was just to distract Ayato and Ulysse for some reason, which didn't really work in the end, and some of the animation was kind of out of touch, but overall, I found this episode to be okay and predictable and harmless. Now let's see if this series will jump straight into the next tournament, or will we simply get more epic battles?